One over there, Facebook, but in those Facebook groups and YouTube. Hello, hello, hello. It's Jessica Magooch, CEO of JPM Sales Partners and founder of the Techcelerator, the premier 8-week program to launch female B2B startup founders to 7 figures and beyond without relying on outside investment. I'm here today to talk to you about something very special and dear to my heart and really help get you to the next level. So, in my program, we talk a lot about mindset training and how much your mind really determines what's going on between your ears, really determines what's happening in your bank account and in business. We got to make sure that that's in the right spot. And then we can apply all the processes and the theories and all of that to get us where we want to be. So today I wanted to talk to you about developing a CEO mindset. Now, CEO is just a title, right? Just because you're a CEO doesn't mean you have a CEO mindset. Just because you're an employee doesn't mean you can't adopt a CEO mindset. So what I mean by CEO mindset, you'll find I really refer to it as a world-class mindset. So as opposed to the status quo, most people, 90% of people, 92% to be exact, if you kind of look at the statistics of how well off or how financially independent people are at retirement age, about 92% of people are operating in a status quo mindset. And the result is that they're not getting where they want to be or think they should be. That 92% comes from financial independence at retirement age, which means, applying the rules of the status quo at the end by retirement age doesn't necessarily give you what you wanted. And certainly as a business owner, if you're operating in an employee mindset or status quo mindset, it's going to hold you back from getting to that next level. So today I wanted to talk about that, especially for the CEOs and the B2B tech founders, because often, even if you've always been a CEO, it doesn't mean that you've successfully adopted this mindset. It could be the thing that's holding you back. And often we go from an employee to a leadership role, and there has to be some mental shifts that happen there. So what I'd like to do is an exercise that I call, creating your own standards of performance, a world-class standards of performance. So I've dropped below this video a list of some typical commonly accepted ideals of the status quo. Status quo meaning most people. So most people operate this way, and most people are going to share these opinions and won't think that you're crazy if you shared them with them. The world class, however, operates with a totally different set of beliefs. So when you say them, people typically think you're a little bit crazy because most people wouldn't agree with it. So here are some of the things. I'm going to drop them down. And after the video, I want you to take your time to go through each of these step by step. If you're in my program, I'll get you a worksheet for that. Go through them step by step and really think, what about this is status quo and how is it holding me back? And then what is an alternative mindset, a different way of looking at it that will help launch me to world-class status? So it's not always the opposite. It's not just like they think this way, other people think this way. That's not how it works. And often it's not opposite. So it's not like really surface level stuff we're talking about here. So here are some of the things, and I'll explain them as we go through so that you can, better apply them in the exercise. And then when you're done with them, you'll have a set of standards of performance that you can apply to yourself and for your team. And you can use, I love using wordclouds.com. It's a free service where you put in a bunch of words or phrases and it creates one of those visual graphics with words. And you could put them up in your office. You could share them with your team. You can put them in the shape of your logo. It's really fun. I'm a very visual person, so I like to take whatever I create and make a visual representation. So what mindset number one, salary equals security, right? So employee mindset is looking for a salary. They will feel safe if they have a salary or secure, right? To give you an example of how you might approach this, a CEO mindset or leadership mindset, I like be like a boss mindset, think like a boss mindset, as a salary is probably the least secure thing that you can have to ensure your future, right? Because basically someone else is in control of that salary and you don't have control over that person. So in no way is a salary something that gives you control of your future. It might feel, it might be deceivingly safe, but there's a lot of potential that you give up when you take a salary. So a salary basically is, if you look at it this way, no one will pay you what you're worth or more than what you're worth. The whole idea when you hire an employee is basically you're giving them this financial perceived security, and they're performing and are operating at a level that's beyond what you're paying them. So you can pay $100,000 employee $80,000 and they'll be happy because they have the security of the salary instead of having to go out and prove their worth every day to new clients. Got it? So another example is work for money. So trade time for money, right? We work for money. 3, work happens Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Status quo mindset, save for the future. Own a home. Be a millionaire. So I'll give you a clue, like just so your mind's thinking out of the box. Instead of be a millionaire, a CEO mindset wants to create millionaires. Got it? So teach, not only be a millionaire, but create opportunities or teach people how they can also be millionaires. Little risk equals little gain. You've got to risk a lot in order to gain a lot. Status quo mindset. Failure equals defeat. Task oriented, right? Let's complete a task. One thing, check it off, check it off, check it off. Whereas CEO mindset would have a much wider lens vision of where we're going with each of the what those tasks mean for the bigger vision. Follows systems, whereas a CEO creates the systems. Get where I'm going with this? Okay, so the rest are works hard, works smart. Got it? Your boss determines your income. Institutional educations are highly valued. Status quo plans for next week, next month, or next year. CEO, world-class mindset, plans for minimum standards. I'll meet the minimum standards so I can get paid, take my paycheck home, and go. I remember being an employee, and I remember you just do what you need to do to get your paycheck because no one's paying you anymore if you go above and beyond. At least unless have a really great boss. So money is the root of all evil. And my grandma used to say that all the time. Every man for himself. Every man fends for himself. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there. I can't afford it. So just another example. I can't afford it. How can I afford it? Okay. I don't have enough time. I can't. Successful people are lucky. It's a mix of luck and intelligence and being in the right place at the right time. Rich people are greedy. That's why they have money. Work 30 years, retire at 65, and finally get to relax and spend time doing the things you love. Okay. You could also add your own. So those may have sparked maybe some other. One great way, to think of this is to just listen to people in your world and listen for those status quo mindsets and then reverse them. And then I want to see those word clouds when you're done. So drop any questions you have below and I'll see you next week. Bye guys. Happy Thanksgiving.